So skilled worker visa, it has
Yes.
been a hot topic. So
Always.
let's start somewhere. Like what is skilled worker?
How someone can avoid refusal whilst making skilled worker visa?
So this
Pay
sponsor
attention.
list thing which you spoke about. What is the time period when you go and resubmit this, like make the amendments? How many amendments you can?
See, the most important thing is while issuing a certificate of sponsorship, this is the heart of a skilled worker visa.
So you said that if someone is applying for a job, for a shopkeeper role, before April 20
Correct.
something, when they come for an extension, now the pricing has gone up. Which one would apply for them?
Another big challenge is people are not getting the COS itself. This is after getting the COS what we spoke. But
So another question for me, like if someone is right in the process and they have some difficulties, maybe because the current scenario, maybe they applied it alone or through an agent or whatever it may be, would you be able to help them if there are delays or issues?
the another important thing. So who gets interview? So if someone is on student visa, let's say completed.
So if you are in a process of applying for skilled worker visa, or if you're going to extend your current skilled worker visa, or if you're having any problems regarding your skilled worker visa, you've got all the answers covered in this episode. So please sit down and watch this episode till the end. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Hatman. We actually promised for another episode this month, and this is about the skilled worker visa. Okay guys, please watch carefully. Who should watch this episode? Because there's a lot of information being given here regarding skilled worker visa.
Correct.
So if you are in a process of applying for skilled worker visa, or if you're going to extend your current skilled worker visa, or if you're having any problems regarding your skilled worker visa, you got all the answers covered in this episode. So please sit down and watch this episode till the end. So this has been a hot topic for us for many years, and people still have a lot of queries around skilled worker visa. So there are a lot of things which you have to keep in mind, because you should be very cautious when you are applying for a skilled worker visa, and you can be rejected for a very simple reason which you might have overlooked.
Correct.
And that's the reason we have this episode.
Sure.
So for someone who's joining new, we've got Mr. Badri Balavenkateshan, who's a immigration consultant and a senior immigration lawyer with around 6,000 plus happy customers and still counting. And if you want to meet him or speak to him, you can go to www.ufvisas.com, which stands for Universal Fortune Limited, and the basic consultation it will be free, completely free. First basic, and he has done level 3 in IAA, which means that he can represent you in any court for immigration related cases. So, without wasting any time, we'll directly jump into the topic.
Absolutely.
But you can start with the disclaimer.
Yes.
No.
So this video is purely for information purpose, and it cannot be taken as immigration advice. If you need immigration advice and you need to get consultation, you need to get opinion from a qualified immigration lawyer, either from IAA or a solicitor who are regulated by SRA.
Okay, cool, fine. So skilled worker visa, it has been a hot topic. So
Always.
Let's start somewhere. Like what is skilled worker visa?
See, skilled worker visa, for this particular visa, you need an employer who is in the register of sponsors and who can give you a certificate of sponsorship. Okay. And once the person gives you a certificate of sponsorship, you can apply for a skilled worker visa. Now, what we are going to talk about is how someone can avoid refusal whilst making skilled worker visa, in what scenarios there are possibility of interviews, because these days almost 40 to 50% of the applications are being called for interview, and what they should be prepared, what they should be aware of. And also, while issuing certificate of sponsorship, what the employer should pay attention into in order to avoid delays. Okay.
So before getting into the topic, let's tell you once again. So we have been looking into the stats for every video we put in. We see that there are a lot of people who are watching our videos without subscribing us, which is actually not right, because the more you subscribe, the YouTube algorithm will take the video to you and tell you whenever we come up with a new video. So please do subscribe and watch the videos. There are a lot of information, a lot of important episodes which will be coming your way. Okay, so let's get into the details now.
Sure. Yeah. See, the most important thing is, while issuing a certificate of sponsorship, this is the heart of a skilled worker visa. Without a certificate of sponsorship, you cannot make it. So the most important, COS, which is a short version of it. Most important thing is, when the employer is assigning a certificate of sponsorship, he should pay attention to these things. First thing is salary. When it comes to salary, there are so many tables. You need to assess each and every individual on their basis, and then you have to decide a salary. So, for example, if you are giving a position which is on immigration salary list, so they have to tick in the COS that this position is in the immigration salary list or temporary shortage list.
How do they track that?
So, while issuing the certificate of sponsorship, there will be a question and they have to tick the box, yes or no. Also, before they do that, they need to check the particular SOC code in the relevant table.
What does SOC stand for?
SOC code is Standard Occupation Classification, Standard Occupation Code.
Okay.
So, for this SOC, what we say is, for example, currently if someone is going for visa extension, and let's say it is a shop manager which falls under 7131, okay, and they are going for extension. Now, while the employer assigning the COS, they need to check when the first visa was granted. If it is before April 2024 and the person is going for extension now, the salary will be 31,300.
Okay.
However, if the person got the visa after April 2024 and if he is going for extension, the salary should be minimum 41,700.
Okay.
So the previously it is 31,300. This one will be 41,700. So this is one slight change or a slight mistake. The application will go for further delay, or even in some scenario, it can go for refusal. So, while choosing, it's not only choosing the right SOC code or job title, you should also choose the right salary. And most of the salary are given based on 37.5 hours. Lot of people do another mistake is they give COS for 40 hours and then they fix to the going rate, which is for 37.5 hours. So you need to check your hourly rate, and if the salary for 40 hours, you should increase accordingly. So this is something they need to look into it. Now, the things while they are issuing in the COS, you can fix it if there is an error. But if by using a sponsor note, for example, they have put an incorrect salary, they can give a sponsor note. Or let's say if the number of hours is they made a mistake in the COS, they can do it.
Okay.
And for instance, which they consider as a significant error is if they have chosen a wrong route while issuing the COS. Or
what do you mean by wrong route?
Wrong route is while they, for example, if an employer is having a COS for Ministry of Religion, and he used that COS for assigning a skilled worker. Or if someone is having a tier 5 COS and they have used it for tier 2, which is for skilled worker, that is a wrong route. You cannot correct it. The second thing is using a wrong SOC code, which I told you. For example, the right SOC code for shop manager is 7131, but they choose SOC code which is relevant to IT business analyst 2133. Then they cannot fix it with the sponsor node. They need to completely assign a new certificate of sponsorship. And again, while they are choosing the COS job title and they choose wrong subcategory, this will be considered as a significant mistake.
That cannot be done through
sponsor node. They have to completely request a new COS and then do it. So this is one important thing. Now, other mistakes which will delay your application. For example, stating your job is on the immigration salary list when it is not. For example, 2133, which is a business analyst position. It is not in the immigration salary list or a temporary shortage list. However, if you choose immigration salary list, you will be given a slightly lower fees. And if you do this, it will cause unnecessary delay. And the second thing is stating your job is under the eligible healthcare visa when it is not. Because a job which is in the eligible healthcare visa, they will be given exemption for IHS. So while making the application form, IHS fees will not be calculated. It will be given as 0. However, while they are supposed to pay for it. So this will cause delay. They have to wait for Home Office to send the link. And then they have to pay it and then it will be done. Then the second thing is your employer doesn't pay the immigration salary charge when assigning the COS. So if they don't pay ISC, because students, when they are switching into skilled worker visa, for them ISC is exempted. But if a skilled worker is extending his visa, their employer has to pay for it.
And what kind of payment?
So ISC fee is approximately £480 for small and medium company per year, and for large sponsors it will be $1,320 per year. Which they have to pay while assigning the COS.
This is for the new COS and the
yes, extension, anyone.
But if we are converting
if it's
from
a student, then the employer doesn't need to pay this ISC.
That's a point for the employers.
You
can save some money.
Exactly. And again, getting the hourly or annual salary wrong, which we discussed, this will cause delay in the getting their visa. So the most important thing what happens is when they do this sort of things, whoever named as a key contact, a Home Office will send with the payment link and they will ask you to pay within 72 hours. If you miss first time, they will again give it to you at the second time, another link. And if you miss the second time as well, then the application will be rejected or refused based on the individual circumstances. So this is something they need to
So this sponsor list thing which you spoke about, what is the time period when you go and resubmit this, like make the amendments? How many amendments you can
see? You can make, if it is a minor mistake, one or sometimes two, but not more than that.
Not more than that, And how long does it take to be
Immediately it will be updated.
Fine. And this becomes, because we in the Tamil episodes we have seen, a lot of people coming to us saying that they got a refusal or they got delayed because they went for an extension. And they were not aware like what the latest going rate was. Like they didn't update it to the latest one. So you said that if someone is applying for a job, for a shopkeeper role before April 20 something, when they come for an extension, now the pricing has gone up. Which one would apply for them?
So based on the date when they got the visa. If they got before April 2024, it is 31,300. If they got their visa after April 2024, it is 41,700.
Okay, that stays like that. Okay, fine. So it won't come to the new one.
Correct.
Fine.
Okay. So the next thing is now another big challenge is people are not getting the COS itself. This is after getting the COS what we spoke, but this is before getting COS. What is the process? Currently, if you are requesting a COS on a standard route, it is taking 12 to 16 weeks.
Oh, man. Okay.
So people have to prepare their visa extension at least 3 months before. However, there is a fast track route is available. It used to be 100 per day. Home Office has increased from last month from 100 to 120 per day slots. So you have to request every single day. You have to send an email exactly at 7 a.m. in the morning requesting for the fast track slot. And it is on first come first serve basis. So they will select the first 120 and they would send a payment link for £350. And if you pay that £350, Home Office will grant the COS within 5 working days. However, if they need additional information, within that 5 working days, they will ask you to provide those information and they will give you additional 5 working days. So this is the most important thing. A lot of companies are not getting COS when they are requesting and when Home Office ask additional information, because they ask more than 13 plus questions which we have discussed before, and they ask 6 plus documents like 6 months pay slip, 6 months bank statement, employment contract of all the sponsored workers, organization chart, 6 months RTI, and they want to see in the bank statement if there is money being paid to the workers on time in bank transfer, and they want to see all the tax being paid. Only then they would do. Okay. So this is something they need to look into it. The another important thing. So who gets interview? So if someone is on student visa, let's say completed IT qualification, masters in IT, and they go and start working as a carer, and they get a COS as a carer after working 3 months. When they apply, Home Office will be calling them for an interview to see the genuinity, their intention, whether the intention is genuine or not. Second thing, someone who is working, let's say as a shop manager, and they go and start working as a IT consultant, Home Office would interview them.
So what kind of questions would they ask?
So the interview would be lasting between 20 minutes to 90 minutes. So they would be checking about their previous immigration history, their education qualification, their work experience, and about their duties. How did they find the job? Also, they would be going technical questions about how the job, about their job duties. For instance, if it's a IT consultant, they can ask about programming, which is related to the duties. They can ask some basic questions from Google, or they have some experts who they provide them related to the duties. Okay, these are the questions, and they will check whether the person really got IT knowledge or not. So of course we help people based on their individual COS and their duties. We help them what sort of questions, but coming to technical, it is something they need to know. But with the other general part, we can help them. So this is what something, and people do not need to worry because they are getting interview. That doesn't mean it will be refused. We have helped so many people who have been chosen for interview, and we have guided them and they got it successfully. So these are the main things which people have to keep in mind whilst making skilled worker visa application. Their employer has to make sure the COS are assigned properly, and employee has to check whether COS is assigned. If not, they have to ask them to provide sponsor note, and if it is major, they need to get a new COS. So in this way, they can avoid delays, and by paying the right fees, by doing the application form correctly, you can avoid refusals. Okay. So if they have any further questions and if they need any detailed consultation, if they want us to represent, we are happy to help.
Yeah.
And we can look into their case by case basis. However, basic consultation will be free. Anything detailed, we will be charging.
So another question for me, like if someone is right in the process and they have some difficulties, maybe because the current scenario, maybe they applied it alone or through an agent or whatever it may be, would you be able to help them if there are delays or issues?
If they have already applied for skilled worker visa and if it's getting delayed, yes, we can definitely look into it and we can kind of raise a complaint or help them to
Speed up the process and
yes,
everything.
speed
Yeah.
up their application. We can look into it, definitely.
Fine. Okay. Super. Thank you, and we'll definitely meet you in another episode soon. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.